So yeah, lads, um, with the year winding down, and it being the year that we released our first album, we thought it would be nice to reflect, um, and yeah, maybe talk a little bit about the songs and share the story behind them, and yeah, share a little bit of insight into how we write music, how we write songs together, and make magic happen, and ducks apparently, little rubber ducks. So yeah, we're gonna first of all start talking about the first song off the album, which I think makes sense to start where it starts. And I think that it was also the first song that we pretty much finished together, was it not? West Side Love. Was it the first? I think it was the first song that we finished in the studio together with Steve back in the day.
Yeah,
It was the first one you released. It was already out when I joined.
Yeah, but we didn't release it first. We didn't have it on the first EP, but I think we wrote it as a first song, and for some reason didn't release it
Crazy.
with the first EP.
Yeah, it was within the songs you sent through when we first met, or before we first met. So you sent me through some demos, and West Side Love was one of these ones. Definitely. Yeah.
I can't remember how refined it was, or where it came from, to be honest. Like, it wasn't one of those ones that kind of sat on the cutting desk or sat like within my head for several years. I think like it started to get written whilst when me and Steve started jamming together for the first time. I think like it wasn't like one of these ones that got revisited like Monster and Me, which was a riff from ages ago that then came back. It was, I think, something that, yeah, because I mean it's written about living in, like, moving to Nuremberg and leaving Glasgow behind and missing this lovely, wet, cold, damp city behind. It's great, guys. You're gonna love it next year. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
this way here. At the moment.
I think the song structure missed a bit. I mean, because it just wasn't finished by that time. I think.
Yeah. Because we changed a few things, like the middle part, the middle section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the stops from the drums and the bass, for example, we added that in.
Yeah.
And also, we can you remember that we released this as a demo on SoundCloud to finally get some gigs?
Did we? Yeah, but it was like way faster, right?
It was,
yeah,
way faster. And I don't know. I mean, when you look at the guitar solos and also the fade out at the end, that was not there by the time.
Yeah. Definitely different. And I mean, this was one that we recorded first with Alex as well. Maybe we need to get Alex in for a little guest appearance as well on one of these discussions. Would be funny. Just be entertaining, just for everybody to meet Alex and his bonkersness. But yeah, I remember that we changed it a bit in the studio as well. I think like adding some of the guitar parts and stuff at the end. We even changed some of the stuff going into the actual final release of the album. We changed some of the vocals from the first single. Changed a couple of vocal phrases, because it was a song that kept on figuring itself out. Even when we started to play it live as well, we started to realize that there was ways that we could play it that maybe were a bit more comfortable for us, or maybe that we thought made it work a bit better. But yeah, evolution. There's also a lesson to like not evolve too much once you've already started recording a song. But yeah, it's a good one. It's a good concert opener, good album opener. I think like it fits. I think as a starter to get into the vibe.
The music video to this at Mutz.
In Mutz Club in Nuremberg. Yeah.
With a prism filter Leon put on the camera.
It's good fun. Came to use. Made use of that thing. Maybe it comes back sometime. Yeah, that was good fun actually. Yeah, it was cool. Recorded there, did like a live thing along with it, which we can maybe link somewhere, because it was quite fun. It's a good effort. Next to this duck. But yeah, West Side Love. Good one. talk Fuego.
Yes. It all starts.
Yes, Mr. Spicy Man. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
maybe Sasa can start telling the story of Fuego.
Yeah, I came up with this drum beat, and I don't really know where it came from, but somewhere in my mind I always had this Nirvana B-side from Incesticide, the album with a lot of B-sides between, I think, Bleach and Nevermind was released, I don't know, 89 or so, or 90? Or was it after that?
Was it
I'm
good?
not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it was definitely a B-sides album. And they had a Downer on it. And it's Dave Grohl plays some kind of a similar beat here, but he plays it on hi-hat and plays it a little bit faster. But this kind of inspired me to this drum beat, and then.
So you're saying you ripped him off, or?
No, not really.
You were
I mean,
inspired.
Inspired
TM.
Yeah. No, but I mean that's the only thing I can imagine where I was. Yeah, when I played the drum beat, and when you ask me where I have that from, then I would say maybe it's inspired by that, but only a little bit. Yeah, and then I showed it to Roy and Steve when we rehearsed. I don't know when was it the first time? Probably 1.5 years ago. I don't know.
It wasn't so long before we went in and started recording, so it's maybe roughly about that. Yeah. And it came together pretty quickly.
Because of your, I don't know what you did, playing around with your wah-wah pedal.
The whammy.
The whammy, yeah.
Whammy. Yeah.
The effect was so nice, and it fitted so damn good to what I was playing. And then I said, you have to record this. You know, you remember there was this dun 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 dun. That was where it started, I think. It was the point where it started.
You played that drum beat. I remember it originally started because you said you wanted to start learning some things on guitar, and then I said more like write some drum beats so we can start from that, like do that, like, and then you wrote a couple, and they both led into songs. One of which both of which went in the album, so the one being Ninth Life, and then with Fuego, and you played that drum beat, and every time we were jamming, we tried to figure out something. In the first, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 sessions we were in the studio, we just couldn't find anything to work with it. And then out of nowhere, maybe the 3rd or 4th time, I don't know, that riff came out. And then we were just like, okay, that's good. And then hit record, and then just played through like a jam on it. And then pretty much that was the exact song. That was like the song structure there. And it didn't even, like, down to the point of like the guitar solo and stuff, it didn't really deviate too much from that. I think I still have it somewhere on my phone, like recorded. It'd be fun to go back and listen to. But yeah, and then we wrote it and we liked it, because I don't think we even planned that one for the album. We already had like a bunch of tracks together, and then we wrote that and we're like, that's so nice. Sorry, like my language. I keep on getting told off for my language this week now that I'm back home. But yeah. Yeah, we're just like, okay, this needs to be in the album. This is great.
I think it's one of our, now I wouldn't say only songs, but it's definitely one of the very few songs that are stomping through from start until the end, which was probably also the reason why we recorded this with a click track, you know.
This one we did, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just nice. It combines, I think, a lot of things Compadre stands for. For example, these kind of rock stomping beats, but also bluesy, a bit of fuzzy effects, and just
yeah. But you can really, like,
escalating.
You can separate our songs into just like fuzzy, stompy, grr, and then more blues inspired stuff. It's like yeah, but nah. And then the lyrics are written about a volcano. Fuego. Literally, yeah. It's kind of like some weird, I don't know, parallel of a volcano to like a, I don't know, a woman, but it's actually about a volcano.
the
Yeah.
most active volcano in Latin America.
Central America. Yeah.
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 It just popped off the other day as well. My brother's thinking of going there in March, so I'll tell him to play Fuego when he's at the top. What do you think of this one, Max, coming in?
I mean, I think that demo you sent me, Sasson, was the one I talked about before. It was just like hissing, because it was, I don't know, the fuzz pedals were just a bunch of hissing. I couldn't quite figure out which is the bass and which is the guitar, actually. I think Steve used some kind of effects as well, and then goes off. But yeah, I enjoy playing it. It was the loudest song. I was one of like the most from the ones you sent me, I think. I actually texted you back. I like Fuego because I also like I enjoy that whammy and fuzz stuff. And everything goes wild.
Yeah, I think that one as well
so-
also like opens up a lot of fun for the bass side with the bass line. You can play with it quite a lot.
Yeah,
I think you did.
so it's
I remember in the first
blast
sessions.
to play. Just you can play fast bass, which was always cool, and go like, crazy with it.
Learn a new thing about yourself. Swear to God you won't tell. Commit.
All right. Shall we talk about the title track?
Yes.
SSSL. Yeah.
I always have to count the S's.
Yeah.
It's as many S's as in your first name.
True. It's a
Yeah.
good Eselsbrücke.
Yeah. Sasan. What's it called? Sunset, Sins, and Sunrise Lullabies. The album
And
track.
Sasson Lullabies.
Yeah. No, this was an interesting one because it's the title track, but it was also the last song that we recorded and the last song that we finished writing. Because we played it in the studio and we always enjoyed it and we always thought it had a hell of a lot of potential, but we never really figured it out so much. And it kind of figured itself out bit by bit, just through the various parts. Which was an interesting. It was a different way of writing, another way of writing. All three of those were very different ways of writing. I think. I feel like West Side Love was already kind of like, written and then got rearranged or bits added as we kind of played it. Whereas Fuego very much came from a jam and was like written together, and then Sunset Sins kind of got written bit by bit. But it started from piano. It started from a lyric hook, and then piano chords instead. Because the chord sequence is not complex, but it's maybe not something I would tend to write on guitar. And it came somehow from piano, and then built up from there. Then Standard, you wrote the drums, and I think the drums in that song are just absolutely banging. Like, they're great. Love them.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. And we recorded it bit by bit. So we recorded it, first of all, just guitar and drums. And then did we add the bass?
We didn't have bass for the first part. It was just guitar and drums.
But we added it later. I can't remember when we added it. I think
you
it was
played the bass, but it was.
Yeah, I played the bass on it because Steve was already back in the US of A. But I think that you'd already joined the band as well, though, when we started to record the
Yeah,
the
but
bass.
I wasn't
Didn't know
sure
yet.
if I could. So it was more no, not if I would join, but if I joined the recording. It was more of your project and thing. So
yeah. And the bass, we wrote it, and it kind of it was already figured out. So yeah, we recorded the guitar, guitar and drums together in the studio live, and then I think added the piano after that, and then overdubbed the bass, and then overdubbed the guitar solo and the vocals.
Yeah. Especially in the very end. I mean, I didn't didn't had the chance to listen to the whole song, I think, for a few weeks. Of course, I only knew the takes we recorded together, you and I, Roy, guitar and drums. And then after a few weeks, when I listened to the first, probably one of the first edited takes from Alex with the vocals, I was like, wow, nice. The vocals sound so good in there, especially, you know, when you got your Kurt Cobain moment at the very end. It's just putting the vocals. They are already, you think they're already on top, you know, you can't get much more out of them, and then you're putting another thing on top of them. That's really nice, the moment. I like it. Very end of the song. Yeah.
That was a good one. I think that was one of the ones where, like, at the end of it, there's always, I mean, you know me, I'm like very critical, and I think there's still stuff which whenever we record that's fix this, like that. But like Sunset Sounds was one where at the end of it I was like, yeah, like that one. That's good. That's something different. Bit of a different mood from the rest of the song as well. Also fun to play live. It seems to get a decent response live. Because it's one that starts quite slow and then builds itself up. I think people are like not really expecting where it goes in the end. Maybe, I don't know, that's my impression from being blinded with light. No, yeah, I mean, now we're going to take a little bit of a break for the time being, whilst I go traveling and Max continues being Max and Sasan continues being Sasan. No, gonna go travel for a bit, and then when we come back, we have a couple of spicy things up our sleeve, and getting back in the studio as well, to make more music. Yeah, which we're pretty excited about.
Yeah,
I think it's like one of our favorite things of the whole shebang is making music and recording it and hoping that it sounds how we hope it to sound, how we want it to sound. Words are hard.
Question.
Yeah. It's an easy question, but no, like, I'm pretty excited to get in the studio again, and yeah, focus on making the best versions of these songs that we can make. Yes, and join us next time on our show where we will have a guest speaker from across the pond, and when I'll also probably be across that pond as well at the same time. Maybe me and Steve will be in the same time zone.
Globalized.
Yeah, we can have a little catch up, little chat, talk about some other songs, and have some input from our favorite Texan. Yeah, sweet. Well, until then, goodbye, lovely compadre fans.
Bye-bye.
Bye.